started about things that could use capital improvement funds. So this one from the audience, another question, this one to Councilman Maciel. What will you do to ensure that a new animal shelter is built sooner rather than later?
Well, I've always supported a new animal shelter. Ever since I've been on council, before I was on council, I've always said it's shameful that you're asking people to work a few feet downwind from the sewage treatment plant. And if you haven't been to the animal shelter, that's where those folks work. Over the years, there have been some stopgap measures, to try to make it better. But, you can only do so much with what we have. We've committed capital improvement funds to a new facility. I think the site being discussed is some city-owned property on the eastern edge of town. I wish we could locate it more centrally. The site I personally like is not city-owned property and is highly contaminated. That would be the property at Tracy Boulevard and Beach Nut, but I don't know if that property will ever be developable because of contamination. But it's critical that we improve that facility, that we have a place to serve the community and their needs when it comes to animal services, and for the employees to have a better place to work. And that's on top of our list for capital improvement.
Thank you. Mr. Mann, same question to you.
Thank you. When the city of Tracy had 25,000 people in population, we had an animal shelter. And now that we're pushing 90,000, we have the same animal shelter. Obviously, it wasn't a priority for many, many years. But now it is. I applaud the city council for pushing the project a little further down the line with the CIP. And I too would like to see it at a more centralized location, and being so that we can all not only just contribute to but benefit from. I've made a couple of trips down there myself. It is downwind from the sewage treatment plant, and it is not very pleasant. And I would like to see something built soon, and continue to remember that it is a priority of the cities. It's a priority of mine. It will be as a councilman. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Morales.
I have seen the list in regards to capital improvements, and on that list is the animal shelter. We need an animal shelter now, today, not tomorrow. I can recall visiting the animal shelter years in the past, and to me it still looks the same way. Last year I had an experience with the animal shelter. My daughter's dog was picked up, and it was taken to the animal shelter. And going out there to get the dog, the requirement is the dog has to be impounded for a certain amount of days. Well, we had to leave the dog there. And boy, it was really heartbreaking, because he was in a cage, and you could, my daughter saw the rats running. What a shame. To be exposed, not just the animals, but the humans, to be exposed to that kind of condition. It's really atrocious and bad. And we should not be having an animal shelter that is in that condition. Like I said, we need a new one now, today. Build it anywhere, as long as it's built. Thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Young.
Thank you. So the question is, should the animal shelter be built sooner than later? Well, now, it wouldn't just be horrible for me to say, well, just later. No, of course, everyone knows that animals are very, very important and are personal pets. As we walk, if any of you have ever done any walking through precincts, almost every door you come up to has a dog. And then you have a lot of little stickers there that says 5 cats in the house, 3 cats, or however many cats there are, because many, many people love their animals. And so we don't want to have any animals just roaming freely through our city that would pose a danger to any of us, not to older, to younger ones, because when those little feisty dogs get to running after you, I'm like, hey, you need some help here. But the thing is, the animal shelter is very important. It's really interesting that it's come up in this particular forum, and that 2 years ago in the forum, Larry Heidi was running, was very, very adamant about the animal shelter. So I'm very glad that it's been brought up at this particular time, because it's something that we need to pay attention to. And as it's already been stated, council has already put it as a priority, a high priority. And so while the voice may not have been heard in the past, now the voice is being heard. And so we as a city council, it's our responsibility, whoever is there, to actually push forward for the voice of the people and getting this done. Now that the finances have been set forward, we need to push forward wherever the location may be. It will be better than the current location.
Thank you. Mr. Ritzel, could you wrap up this question for us? Thank you.
I think everybody is. I think everybody has given some very good answers, but this is one of those situations where you have to look at the city's budget. You know, capital improvement needs to be budgeted in a long time ago. That shelter has been there for a long time, and I guess my question would be, if that shelter was privately owned, would the city code enforcer approve it? Or would they pass it? I don't think so. And I think that's one of those situations, when you have a shelter like that, it shouldn't be sitting there for 30 or 40 years with no improvements. And we have to budget it in. It has been now, and now it needs to be accomplished. Thank you.
Thank you.